For college basketball on this Saturday afternoon, just a couple of days prior to New Year's. Hartford wins the tap, and we are underway here from Hartford. That's J.R. Lynch walking it by the mid-floor line for Hartford. Hand off to Dunn, now Blagievich. Good to see Jason Dunn really in a nice groove offensively. Here's Lynch at the ball. Thrown away, into the hands it goes. And Brian Parker is going to go coast to coast and lay it up and in.
So that's essentially what you're going to see. As we said, both of these teams can tend to play slower half-court styles, but they will be opportunistic if they can get the occasional run out, just like Marist did there.
Hawks averaging 74 a game. They allow 76 per contest. Here's Dunn off to Lynch. Puts the ball on the deck, the handoff. Travis Weatherington getting his first touch. He does most of his damage from outside the arc. There's Blagievich. Throws now for Lynch. Tries a three and hits. J.R. Lynch striking from long range for Hartford's first hoop to go up by a point.
Well, a really good sign for Lynch after the turnover on the very first possession to come down and knock that three. When, you know, it's no secret. If Hartford's making shots and shooting it well, they're just a totally different team.
Marist on the turnover will give it back to Hartford. That is the first turnover against the Red Foxes out of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Known as the MAC. They lost 78-53 December 22nd. That was last Saturday against Brown.
Those games are so hard. Right before the holiday break, lots of times the student body's already off campus. Some of the, from a coaching standpoint, it's hard to get your players' mind to be on the game and not on the flight home afterwards.
John Carroll, a nice up and under move, and good to see what he can do. That's where he is most effective, down in that low post, Adam.
No doubt, and that having that few-week hiatus give him an opportunity to sit back, watch some film, and also watch the team play without him. I think sometimes that perspective can be invaluable.
Parker tries the three. It's off the mark. J.R. Lynch back the other side for Hartford. And Parker's the guy that can shoot it. He averages close to 15 per game. He's a large part of the Red Foxes offense.
Well, we talked about him in the open. He's a mismatch problem more than anything else because he's really built like a forward, but he's got ball skills of a guard. And if he gets his body on you, he can overpower just about any opposing perimeter player.
Carroll unable to handle the pass of Weatherington, so that offensive sequence results in a turnover, and Marist takes over now. Hawks by 3, just getting going. Jeff Dooley, Adam Finkelstein, good to have you along. Hartford's final non-conference home game on the schedule. Marist's final non-conference game in their schedule. Near steal that time done right in the grill of David Knutson.
And with Boston College on the horizon, a game that I think Hartford believes is winnable, which doesn't usually happen when American East school goes on the road to an ACC school, but so important for them to stay in the moment, not look ahead.
Good defensive stop by the Hawks this time.
Good read.
And Dunn throws
Sloppy
in traffic,
pass, yeah.
Picked off, stolen away by Darius Hines. Hawks got off to a slow start last time out Saturday at Wagner, ended up falling behind 20-0 before eventually closing within 5, but it was a loss out on Staten Island. There's another off-balance shot that misses badly that time off the side of the backboard. Hartford clears the rebound.
You can see the Christmas cookies still affecting both teams a little bit out of the first few minutes.
Does that happen as you see Weatherington
No
miss and Marist grabs the rebound? How difficult it is to come back after getting a few days off with your family?
Well, you know what the tough part is, quite frankly, is given, when this game is, do you bring them back on Christmas night? That's the big question, because you'd love that extra night of practice. You don't have to worry about guys, missing their flight or having any kind of travel problems. So you'll have, if you get them there on the 25th, you'll have a good practice on the 26th.
Blagievich can't get the angle inside. The rebound cleared by Knutson. Marist comes up with a big stop.
John Dunn was not happy about the no call there.
Try to work it inside that time to Lamb, but Hartford comes up with a turnover, and now John Gallagher calling for J.R. Lynch to slow things down and get a high percentage shot here. Hartford up 5-2 as we played just about 4 minutes.
I mean, I think at this point, either of these coaches would just take a shot instead of a turnover.
Right. Lynch will try that shot. Front rims it no good, but pulls down the long rebound outside the three-point arc. Now drives towards the lane, all the way to the rim, and he scores. That's the second field goal for J.R. Lynch, and Hartford goes up by 5.
John Dunn not happy with his freshman point guard there. Not the type to usually show that much emotion, but he was hot on the sideline right there.
Timeout on the floor. Hartford out to a 7-2 lead here against Marist on ESPN3.
Minutes, not just the initial high, but sustaining it throughout both halves. And then secondly, poison pace. And what I mean by that is we talked about how this is generally going to be a half-court game. But both teams are going to look for early run-out opportunities and then have to transition, no pun intended, into running their offense. So look for both teams to explore scoring in the first 5 to 8 seconds of the shot clock, and then if not, run their offense and look to get in late clock situations.
And they're at Fox's finally get that basket from their leading scorer, Brian Parker. It'd be good to get him going if you're a Marist fan. And it is now a one-possession game. Marist just 1 for 5 to shoot before that Parker made field goal.
Well, Marist didn't want to wait for that TV timeout. They made good use. They call that an ATO, after timeout play, designed to get your best player the ball in his sweet spot, and John Dunn did that for Brian Parker there.
There's Blagievich trying to work against the man-to-man, and he drops one in from about 6 feet out. Nice fadeaway by George Blagievich, who's really had a breakout season this year.
He's been playing so well. He was almost the forgotten man in this starting lineup going into the season, kind of the last of the 5 guys that opposing teams worried about offensively. But you look at what he did at Bryant. I mean, 30 points and 15 rebounds when John Carroll was out of the lineup. He has been just absolutely tremendous. Followed that up with 24 and 7 against Oakland. So playing at a much higher level than I think anyone could have anticipated.
Offensive rebound after the Funk missed 3. Inside it goes to Parker. Back to the basket. Throws it up from 6. Can't get the shots go. Another offensive rebound. Lamb this time. And over to the back, foul called against Hartford. Yeah, you look at Blagiewicz's numbers from a year ago. He averaged just over 4.5 points per game this season. He is the team's second leading scorer, averaging 13.7 points per game.
Well, and when you get 30, I mean, that tells you.
And 15 rebounds to go with it.
And what that does, it forces other teams to have to game plan for you. So right now, because that's what, when you go into a game, you're trying to prioritize the opposing team's personnel. And that's a really hard thing to do when you play Hartford, because now there's 4 different guys, really 5, when you talk about Travis being able to make shots in bunches from behind 3, who can beat you on any given night.
And you've got 3 1,000-point scorers, one of just 3 institutions in America to have 3. Driving in that time was Brian Parker, and he drives in and scores. Actually, his second field goal, and he's a guy that averages 14.5 per game to make it 9-6.
Well, it's too easy because you allow him to get to his dominant left hand, and you allow him to get 2 feet into the paint. Now, give him credit for this. Brian Parker has done a really nice job of improving his conditioning, dropping some weight since last year, so he's definitely a step quicker.
Dunn misses the 3. Marist the rebound. Out to the races is Parker. Leaves it for the trailer. Funk tries the 3 and connects.
Now that's something to watch. Ryan Funk is a guy who's not shooting a high percentage from behind the arc this year, but he is a player, if you followed Marist basketball in years past, you know he can make shots and make them in bunches. So if he gets hot from behind the arc, gives Marist a second weapon in that range, changes the complexion of their team offensively.
Blagiewicz's pass picked off by Isaiah Lamb. Yeah, don't foul him either. He's perfect this season. 19 for 19 for the free throw line. And speaking of free throws, J.R. Lynch grabbing that rebound. He is dynamite at the charity stripe for Hartford.
Yeah, not the shot that I think Marist wanted. J.R. Lynch feeling good. How about that crossover? Pull it back, young fella.
He's got 8 to lead the Hartford 5, and it's 12-9 Hawks. We approach the 12-minute mark. He has become such a great player. I know you go way back with him. I mean, he's done so much of it through just great work ethic.
Absolutely. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. There's not many guys his size who are Division I basketball players. Certainly not many guys his size who are 4-year starters in the Division I ranks. So
hit one of the biggest shots in Hawks history as a freshman up in Albany to really shoot the dagger through the spine of the Great Danes and secure a playoff spot for Hartford. And that was as a freshman.
And he's done it with, it's not just hard work, it's also character. I mean, he's as good of a kid as he seems, I think is the easiest way to say it.
Blagievich tries to go up for the shot. He gets fouled from behind. Alexander Dosic grabbing him. That's the junior. Marshall transfer. That's the first foul of the day against Marist. And George Blagievich will go to the free throw line, where he is a 53% free throw shooter, 27 of 51 this season.
It's one of the ironies about his game. For as skilled as he is, And when I say skilled, I mean great hands, great touch, great ball handler, great passer. He's got the footwork. He's actually not a great shooter. Doesn't stretch the floor too well, and not as good of a free throw shooter as you'd expect. No. You saw it there. He's got really good touch. That ball hits soft on the rim. Just doesn't knock enough of them down. He'll
occasionally hit a three. He's got 3 threes this season in 14 attempts. He attempted more three-point shots.
Not a great ratio.
No, it's not. No. And one thing I've noticed, Adam, this year, though, he's shooting less threes. His first 3 seasons, he was bombs away from long range.
Well, I think he came in with the perception of being a floor spacer and kind of a classic stretch 4. And he's really more of a mismatch 4, a guy who can put it on the floor and make plays.
Here's Austin Williams. Gives it to Funk, who tries the 3. That is off the mark. Blagojevich, the rebound off. It goes to Dunn.
And good job defending that play. After Funk made his first one, don't want to give him a clean look, and that one was challenged the entire way up.
There's a steal by Williams, who goes coast to coast, lays it up and in. Easy basket in transition for the Red Foxes.
Well, second time, just been a little too careless with the ball. And as we said, Marist, Hartford, they like to play in the half court, but both are going to explore opportunities for early runouts.
Knutson to Funk, back to Knutson. Left side, Harasmi fires a 16-footer off the side of the rim. No, Lynch the rebound, and now the Hawks get a chance to catch their breath here on O.
You know, Harasmi's an interesting case study. He was a guy last year, played high school basketball in New Jersey, was not getting recruited at the Division I level. St. Peter's, where John Dunn was the head coach last year, came in and offered him a scholarship middle of last high school season. Only Division I school to be recruiting him. When they came to Marist, they brought him with him, said, hey, we still want you. We believe you're a Division I player. He's proven them right through the first month of his college season.
Tight one from the field, just 1 of 5, since they made 5 of their last 10 shots.
And I tell you what, Hartford doing a nice job shooting the ball. Nice out-of-bounds play. Another ATO, this time from Hartford. J.R. Lynch unable to get the ball on the rim. John Gallagher wants the foul. He didn't get it.
Marist takes over on O, the chance to take the lead here in this possession. There's Ryan Funk, tries the long-range shake, can't get it to go. Weatherington pulls down the rebound just inside the free throw line.
And that was a better look. Funk just didn't have his feet under him, was fading away, didn't get himself on balance as he came into that handoff.
Romaine Buxus in the game for the first time for the Hawks.
I think he's an important piece for Hartford, too, because he gives them some much-needed depth and a guy who can play multiple positions, so he's an ideal and kind of jackknife type off the bench. You can spell a variety of different guys, and they can continue to flow within what they're doing.
Terrific hustle play by Knutson and Marist to get the ball back on the turnover. I mean, that's just being tough. There's Knutson, one-on-one with Buxus. Off it goes to Williams. Now to Funk. Drives the lane. Throws it for Nedrow, nearly in no man's land.
Good closeout.
Yeah, Harasmi. The shot clock winding down. They'll throw it up, and no good. Shot clock violation, and the Hawks get it back on O, looking to break a 13 all-time.
Well, Hartford was very adamant about the importance of, in the coaching ranks, it's called KYP, know your personnel, and it's a scouting term. It refers to you have to know who you're guarding, not just your man, but the entire rotation, because that's going to determine how you close out. Do you run a shooter off the three-point line? Do you close out short at a non-shooter? Hartford did a really good job in that scramble situation there of knowing who to run off the line, and got a shot clock violation because of it.
John Carroll, an 8-foot jumper, left side of the baseline, nothing but nylon. It's his second basket, and the Hawks go up by 2.
I like Carroll's approach here, not forcing anything, got both of his looks in the flow so far, just very content to let the game come to him, and that is when he is at his best.
Funk off to Williams, just outside the arc, back to Funk. Works it down to the high post. The throw to Williams, looking for Knutson. Williams to drive in and score. Went right by John Carroll that time as he takes it to the rim.
And he right by Jason Dunn at the top of the key, and that would put Carroll in a bad spot, rotating over. Carroll initially had to go over to double the post because J.R. Lynch got stuck in the mismatch down there at the bottom of the zone. Carroll had to then rotate out and try and make a play on the ball because Dunn just got blown by at the top of the key.
There's Carroll showing some range that time. Can't get the shot to go as he misses a 12-footer. Marist pulls down the rebound. Austin Williams with the basketball. Williams now for Funk, who steps into a 3. Off the rim, no good. Lynch the rebound for Hartford.
Now, it didn't go down, but you notice the hop in his catch had better balance and rhythm in that stroke.
Yeah, there's Buxus, a long-range jumper. That's his 5th 3 of the season. Romaine Buxus from Belgium, who comes in from Snow College. Adam, he missed the first 4 games with an injury, but he's played the last 9, including a start.
Well, and again, one of the more versatile guys in this roster, not just because of his ability to play and defend multiple positions, but because he can provide a little bit of floor spacing, can get in there and mix it up inside.
That's a kid that was so good last time, Alexander Dosic, Marshall transfer, who had 16 points off the bench against Brown on Saturday, and he gets his first long-range jumper to fall.
Well, this is a team that has not been shooting the ball as well, especially in their first 5 as they would like. So anything they can do to increase their floor spacing is going to be a welcome addition for the Red Foxes.
Yeah, and that's a great point. They shot just 32%, a season low in their loss on Saturday, but beginning to...
I mean, facts are facts, and the America East is a one-bid league.
Sure.
But I tell you what, the biggest takeaway for me in the America East non-conference play is been Stony Brook. I mean, everyone knew Vermont was going to be good. Stony Brook, I think, has ascended this year much quicker than anyone could have or was anticipating, and really emerging again as one of the powers in the conference.
Yeah, they've got some nice non-conference wins as well, and I know Vermont played Kansas awfully tough in that non-conference matchup.
You know, when Vermont beat George Washington, I know there was, I saw on social media there was a sentiment about, whoa, what an upset. And I thought to myself, I think Vermont's just better than George Washington. And that's no disrespect to George Washington. I think Vermont, is just that good.
Well, I saw some of the Kansas game against the Catamounts, and Lamb for Vermont looked like he could play Kansas. I mean, he looked like one of the top 5 players on the floor that day. He was to, a 30-second break. He gets a quick drink, comes back into the game. He'll check in for boxes.
But that's coaching, I mean, you don't want him off the floor any longer than he has to be. You steal him a minute or two, he catches his breath, he hydrates, and then you get him right back in.
There's Dunn. Circle the perimeter, drives towards the rim, and he gets called for traveling.
Yeah, he should have kicked it. They helped off Lynch in the corner, and that's because Darius Hines, a freshman point guard for Marist, making a little bit of a freshman mistake, helping off the corner, and Hartford did not make him pay because Lynch held on to that ball for one dribble too long.
There's Hines with the basketball. Hand off to Dosic. Dosic now for Parker. Nails the long range 2 and makes it a 1-point lead for Marist. He's got 10 now.
But you're okay with that if you're Hartford. You're okay with a tough 2. You go under that screen. You force him to make contested jumpers and ideally contested long 2s all game long. If he makes them, you tip your hat.
There's a turnover. Marist coming away with a steal.
That's just the little bit of rust on Carroll's game there. We've seen that set from Hartford. They empty out the side, try and open up a driving lane for him, and ball just slid out of his hands that time.
There's Knutson.
Really good close by Weatherington to get him off the line there.
Dosic. Right side. 3 is good. A nice three-pointer by Isaiah Lamb.
Isaiah Lamb's an interesting story. This is a guy in high school who is known as a high-level athlete. I mean, this guy played up at the top of the box. Lost some of that athleticism in a serious knee injury, but he's really worked to develop his skill set, making more than a 3 per game this year, and that was not something he was known for a few years back.
Carroll tries to answer. He cannot. Marist pulls down the rebound, and they're going to call a foul.
He better be careful.
Called John Carroll for the foul, and you're right, teammates have to get him out of there. He was not happy with the call.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's seen that too often where he, the frustration, the raw emotion in the heat of the moment.
We call a tech here?
Yeah, he got a tech. He got a tech immediately, and then he kept going. So that you saw Blago jump in there and try and separate him from. And quite frankly, I think he was fouled. We're going to get another look at it here. See, there's a reach there. And you can see just the demonstrative reaction there. That's going to be a tech every time.
Yep. So Marist shooting free throws when we come back up by 4. Just under 4 to go here at half number 1.
%from 3 has a lot to do with his balance.
There's Hines outside of the arc.
Good cut, good pass.
Dosic inside the Funk. Can't get the shot to go. Weatherington the rebound. Off it goes to Lynch leading the break. Lynch looking for some help. Not a Dunn off to Boxes who drives in. Passes underneath the Blagievich, putting the ball on the deck, trying to get the angle, throws it up. Pops out. Harris clears.
He's missed some chippies tonight, but it's hard not to admire just his poise and patience down there. He does not get sped up.
Marist trying to build on what is a 5-point lead. They're large to the game, make it 7 now as Brian Parker works through some baseline traffic and scores.
Well, speaking of not getting sped up, again, Parker just dictating his pace, so strong, not going to let anybody rile him.
And there's Lynch. Just when the team desperately needs a basket, it is J.R. Lynch that drives the hole and scores.
And give John Linehan the assist from that. Those are the type of finishes J.R. didn't have in his bag as an underclassman. Type we see him working on every game, before every game with assistant coach Linehan.
Yeah, what a great coach to have work with Lynch.
No doubt, yep.
Former Big East Defensive Player of the Year at Providence.
And a guy who was undersized in his own right, so he had to be, you know, crafty and tricky and figure out different angles with which to finish among the trees.
Boxes misses the 3, and then Hartford able to get the pass deflection. On the turnover, the Hawks take over. Here's Lynch, now for Dunn. Dunn.
Nice.
No look pass for Blagojevich, and misses the shot, gets the rebound, puts it up, and gets fouled. Boy, he's working hard in the paint, though, although hasn't had much luck the last few minutes with the angle to the rim.
I tell you what, though, his friends are going to kill him in the video session tomorrow because he is eating up their assist numbers. That was a great play by Jason Dunn. Was critical of him a couple possessions ago when he didn't hit the corner when J.R. Lynch's man helped off. Made the unselfish play there. Blago's just got to finish that.
Blagojevich going the free throw line. Will shoot a pair. Mentioned before, 54% from the stripe this season.
See, it's a good-looking ball. You know, he's got good rotation, good touch.
They just haven't fallen from the line in his career. But he is 2 for 3 this afternoon, so much for the stats, right? See if he can go 3 for 4 here and really shut me up.
Got the new Steph Curry's on.
He did it. Could be it. It's a one-possession game, 28-25, Marist. And Foxes take over on 0. Tight one here in Hartford. Final non-conference home game for the Hawks, and for Marist, their final non-conference game of the season. Hartford will play at BC in 2 days.
You know, the other interesting thing, Hartford has shown much more man-to-man in this game than they have in previous games. You have to wonder if they caught Marist a little off guard, if they were preparing for that 1-3-1, and instead have seen much more man than they were anticipating.
Weatherington hangs in the air, can't get the shot to go, it goes out of bounds. The Red Foxes take over on 0.
You know, Weatherington hasn't gotten anything done offensively so far, but I think he's playing a good defensive game. He got a deflection, or steal rather, a couple possessions ago, had a good closeout at the end of the shot clock. So I think he's definitely progressing on the defensive end of the floor. And again, offensively, he doesn't have any points right now, but he's the type of guy, only needs one open look to get himself going.
There's Williams off to Marist.
Good cut by Parker.
Now for Lamb. Try to get the ball in, but a push going to be called against Hartford.
Well, Parker didn't like, he got a little extra bump there from Blagojevich. He didn't like it, had something to say, and then J.R. Lynch jumped right between them. You don't often see the 5'10" guy come to the 6'9" guy's rescue.
He's that type of guy, right?
You know, gotta love him.
Mm-hmm. Inbound to Dosic. Dosic drives in, and he gets called for traveling. So the Hawks will take over on the turnover, actually a push-off foul. And that's going to be the first whistle against Dosic. Actually, second off Dosic. That's the 7th now against the Red Foxes. And Hartford takes over, down by 3. John Gallagher directing traffic on that far sideline. There's J.R. Lynch trying to dribble away from the double team there. Throws now for Carroll. Open 3, a long one. Rolls around, hit it every spittle.
Sure did, every part of that rim.
Oh, boy. Off to the right, though, and Williams clears the rebound. Williams trying to shake Blagojevich. Goes for Funk. Right side, Nedrow. Now Williams drives in against Blagojevich. Trying to get some space, posts up, can't get a shot to go. Blago tips the rebound to J.R. Lynch, and Hartford with a big stop with a minute to go.
Well, that was a mismatch. Blago got stuck on a guard, did his best to utilize his size and length to get back in the play.
There's Carroll. Inside to Blagojevich through Weatherington. Blago posts up strong, can't get the shot to go, but he gets fouled once again.
And John Dunn not happy with that call.
John Dunn, his first season after 12 years at St. Peter's. Went to the 2017 College Insider Tournament. And I'm sure he's excited for a Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference play, which will begin on January 3rd against Canisius as Hidalgo make it a 2-point game, drops in the first one to make it 28-26.
Well, when you get to the NCAA tournament at St. Peter's, I mean, again, no disrespect to St. Peter's, but that is not an easy job.
Yeah.
Not an easy job. I mean, when
touch.
you think about some of the schools in that league that kids are going to on recruiting visits, and it's an uphill battle at St. Peter's from a geographic perspective, a facilities perspective, you know, a lot of different perspectives. So to get to the NCAA tournament, you know you can coach.
Parker throws for Funk. Left side, Negro tries the three, can't get a shot to go. Blagojevich the rebound with 25 seconds to go. The shot clock is off.
They can hold for one.
There's Wetherington now for Dunn. Looks like the Hawks may just do that, and they're going to call for a timeout. I like this right here.
Well, it's use it or lose it in the Division I ranks, and so John Gallagher, as good as it gets, drawing something up. We're going to see what he's got.
We will keep it right here during this timeout with 17 seconds to go. And what do you think in this situation? Is it best shot here?
Well, I think you try and get something with about 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock. That way Marist doesn't have the opportunity to go the other way, but you give yourself a chance to crash the offensive glass and get a potential second chance point. What I always find interesting in a situation like this, if you're in the Marist huddle, you know Gal's drawing something up right now. So what are you doing to combat that? Are you going to change your defense? Are you going to come out and show zone? Are you going to switch something unexpectedly? So these are the types of chess match things you see more often in the NBA. But
right.
When you've got coaches like this on both sidelines, it's going to be fun to watch. For the basketball nerds like me, anyway.
That's right. Jason Dunn will inbound. Yep.
Yeah, they're in man-to-man.
Yeah. Lynch says, get out of there, Jason. I'll take it in. So Lynch with 14 seconds to go he'll try to run this thing down. J.R. Lynch with 10 first half points. Gives it now to Carroll with 4 to go. 3 to go.
Good read by Parker.
Carroll pulls up for a long-range shot, and he hits it. His foot was on the line. It's a 2, but John Carroll, boy, didn't look like he was going to go in. He hit the front of the rim, bounced up, and then fell through that orange circle, and the Hawks take the lead at intermission.
Let me tell you what, Duels, that was scouted perfectly, defended perfectly, but good offense sometimes beats good defense. Parker wasn't letting him drive it. Carroll knocking it down anyway.
Hawks by a point at intermission. Lead Knutson. We'll throw it in and resume here in the second half. Jeff Tooley, Adam Finkelstein. Good to have you with us, Adam. A tight first half for both sides.
Yeah, very much what we expected. A little bit of a grind on both ends. Both of these teams content to play at a slower pace.
Knutson off the bat tries a 3 and connects. So David Knutson, that's his first 3 of the game. That's his 21st this season. And Marist back on top.
But again, the ATO drawn up in the huddle, looking for the back cut, but didn't get it, but it opened up a look for Knutson.
Dunn tries to match that 3, but misses. Marist the rebound.
Very interested to see if they make a concerted effort to get Dunn going here in the second half. But how about Knutson's ability to heat up in a hurry? 1-3, and then quickly with a second.
Yeah, back-to-back threes. He's got 6 so far here in the second half, and a 5-point lead now for the Red Foxes. Marist has led by as many as 7 points. They had a 28-21 edge in the first half.
Hartford was looking for the backcourt there. Dunn trying to get Lynch to go back door, but nothing going.
That time they try to work it inside of John Carroll. Had a tech call on him in the first half. His first game back after missing 3 in a row. The ball poked out of bounds here, though. Hartford will stay with the possession with 8 on the shot clock.
Made that big shot, though, at the end of the first half.
Yeah, then he shows some range here and knocks it home. Long baseline jumper for John Carroll and a quick timeout call.
John Gallagher wants to talk it over real quick.
He does that a lot. You'll see him after a made basket call for a timeout and reset the defense.
Well, I think this is very specific, just a one-on-one conversation with Travis Wetherington, and you would think it has a lot to do with defending the arc.
We'll take a break. Come right back after this. Marist by 3 on ESPN 3.
Making sure that Marist did not get an open look from downtown, and in particular, making sure that number 34 in red didn't get another look from downtown, as he is 2 for 2 to start this half.
There's Hines trying to go one-on-one against J.R. Lynch. Gives it to Knutson, who's hit back-to-back threes from Marist.
Nope, almost got another one.
Yeah, he
Thought
sure
about
did.
it.
Gives it to Lamb. Back to Knudsen. Now, ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Blagiewicz. It'll stay Red Fox's ball with the shot clock at 15. Parker inbounds to Schoberg. Now Knudsen, here comes the double team. Hartford trapping it all over him.
Well, that's what you do when you have a hot shooter. You're going to, what they call lock and trail. Hartford's not going to be happy with that, but you're going to lock and trail him, meaning you're going to chase him right off the screens and force him to curl it. When you do that, the big man guarding the screen, in that case Carroll, has to show himself to prevent a curl from the rim.
Terrific job by Marist, though, to beat that double team, get the open man, and get the easy basket by Parker. As Wetherington tries the three and hits. Well, we talked about Travis Wetherington needs to be part of the Hartford offense, and that shot makes it a 2-point game, his first field goal today.
It was a great pass by Jason Dunn because he saw the entire floor. Not only did he skip it, but he skipped it on the money so that Wetherington was able to step in rhythm.
How about Hines matched up against Lynch right here? Handoff now to Parker. Parker drives against John Carroll, gets some space, throws it up and in. Went right over the defense that time.
One of the more deceptive parts about his game is how quick his release is. His feet barely came off the ground there. He didn't go by anybody, but he's able to get it up.
There's a steal by Lamb. Isaiah goes coast to coast, and he dunks it with both hands.
Well, that's that athleticism that I was referring to in the first half. He was known for that. That was his trademark in the high school ranks.
6-point lead now for Marist, 3 minutes into the second half. There's Dunn for Lynch. Blagiewicz gets the touch. Puts the ball on the deck, drives in. Now tries to reverse, throws it now for Lynch. Lynch for Dunn, a three. It's good. Jason Dunn nails the trifecta. And it's a one-possession game.
It's amazing, isn't it, how quickly this game has changed. Dunn and Wetherington don't score the entire first half. They've got back-to-back threes. Marist was stagnant offensively for long periods of time in the first half. They're raining threes.
There's a block by Dunn. He comes up with a basketball. Dunn for Lynch.
Nice.
Back to Dunn. Fakes the three. Now steps into a trifecta. Can't get the shot to go. Offensive rebound. Wetherington, it goes off his right knee. It goes out of bounds, and it's Marist basketball.
I like that look, though, for Hartford. When they get going with their early offense, I think sometimes they don't explore that quite enough, and they can get good shot. That was a good shot for Jason Dunn.
And Wetherington averages over 7 a game. Jason Dunn, the active leading scorer, second leading rebounder, averaging close to 15 a game. She's not going to keep those guys down.
No, and you know, Hartford's one of those teams that the averages are almost never going to bear out because it's somebody different almost every game.
They do have different weapons for sure. Here's Knudsen.
He walked.
Gives it a Dosic. Yeah, no traveling call. Now it's Knudsen.
Heat check. Wow.
Wow, there you go. Knudsen with his third three of this half. He's feeling it now with 9. It's 43-37. It's a 2-possession game.
And Carroll was there on the catch. It's just Knudsen able to create space with a little step back, and you've got to recover and get your hand up in that situation.
There's John Carroll. Drives in, and the ball stripped away. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay Hartford basketball.
Good play by Carroll to spin off the double.
Hawks ball when we come back. 15:46 to go in half 2. Marist 43, Hartford 37.
Let's put it in perspective. He didn't score in the first half. Took one shot. He's got 3 threes here in the first 4 minutes of the second.
There's Dunn tries the three, and he connects from long range. So Jason Dunn with a three-pointer. That's his second of the game. He's got 6, and it's back to a one-possession game.
Similar story. Dunn didn't score in the first half either. It just really, this game, first half to the second half, at least first 4.5 minutes of the second half, couldn't be much different than the first 20.
There's Lynch, gets a steal. Thought there might have been a hold foul, not called though, but Lynch able to explode for the fast break basket and pull the Hawks back within a point. Well, he's so quick. He's like a jet.
There's another one.
There's a steal that time by Carroll. It goes coast to coast, lays it up, misses the shot. The trailer is there, and Blanco reverses and hits.
And I think that's the impact of the ankle. Carroll didn't want to try and elevate, potentially have to land in traffic, so he laid it up what otherwise would have been a dunk. Good hustle play, gets the block, but Hartford following the possession, doing a nice job of chasing that one down, coming up with still an easy 2.
And the last 2 offensive sequences from Marist turning into turnovers and Hartford cashing in. So it's the defense setting the tone.
And again, Hartford playing a lot more man than I think Marist was probably accustomed to.
Dosic, the long-range three-pointer from the top of the key to go up by a bucket, 46-44. He's got 6.
Well, and Marist made 3 threes in the first half. That's their 4th of the second half, and we're 5.5 minutes in.
There's Dunn outside the arc.
Good read.
Now to Lynch, open 3. He got it. J.R. Lynch from downtown. That's his first basket of the second half. He's pacing the Hartford offense with 15, and the Hawks lead by a point.
Jason Dunn playing at a really high level right now. He's made 2 threes, and he's made 2 pinpoint passes to get threes for Wetherington and Lynch. Now Hartford changing it up, going into the zone.
There's Funk, now to Knudsen, played by Lynch. Off it goes to Dosic. To the hands of Harassme. Now to Knudsen, bumped by Lynch. Just kind of lost the balance and ran into him. Now 35 feet away from the basket, he's called for the foul. He knows it. He's upset.
He's upset with himself. He looked over at Coach Gallagher. Coach Gallagher, that's a great piece of coaching there. You know your guy knows. You know so there's nothing you can do there but clap your hands. He's already beaten himself up.
So Dunn picks up the foul. That is his first. And Marist down by a point with the basketball with just about 13 minutes to play. There he is, Hines off to Parker. Lamb. Now to Nero. Back to Funk. He'll shoot threes. He shoots a long 3. Can't get the shot to go in the long rebound. Corralled by Lynch. JR with a board.
And never got any movement in that offensive possession. Just a little too stagnant offensively. Let's see what Hartford's got.
Chance for the Hawks to build at a 1-point lead. There's Wetherington. Now to Dunn, a 3. It's good. Jason Dunn nails the 3. That's his second, both this half. And Hawks lead by 4, 50-46, and a timeout call by Marist head coach John Dunn.
Yeah, he's not happy. Jason Dunn being able to get it going just on cue, and now John Gallagher talking to him about it. I'd love to know what they're saying right now, wouldn't you?
I would. Dunn getting a big hug from Coach John Gallagher. We'll keep it here during this quick timeout with 13 minutes to go. Take a look again, though, and boy, when you give him some space and he gets in his comfort zone. He didn't have much space, actually, but he nails that 3.
It's got to be so much fun for a coach who is as good with his X's and O's as Gallagher is to coach a player like Jason Dunn. Because when he gets going, you can run stuff for him, and all we saw in that set was the shot. What we didn't see was the action that led to the shot. There was a lot of misdirection, multiple screens in there, really well orchestrated, and that's really what caused Marist to break down defensively, which John Dunn was so upset about. But again, had to get through a lot of different action and screens before Dunn came into that shot.
Here is Hines with the basketball for Marist. Gives it up to Brian Parker. There's Parker, the team's leading scorer. Off it goes to Hines. Pulls up for the right elbow. Short. And the Hawks pulled down the rebound. It's another big miss by the Red Foxes.
Hines was a guy who was a late signee last year after Dunn got the job. When you get a job in the spring, you're trying to see if there's any recruitable guys still left on the market. They went down to that DMV area and found Hines, still developing his body, but they like his potential to run the point for them next 4 years.
Wetherington for 3. A little bit too strong. Marist, Brian Parker pulls down the rebound. Parker nearly had it stripped away by Lynch. Loose on the floor, picks up his dribble. Now fires into traffic, it's picked off. Here's Dunn leading a break. Dunn trying to find the cutting Lynch, and the ball poked out of bounds. It'll stay Hartford basketball. The Hawks try to cash in that time.
Well, it needed to be a bounce pass to go through there, but I think Dunn just bobbled that dribble just a little bit before he made the pass. Otherwise, probably would have had the sense to make it a bounce pass.
Yeah, and we look again.
Great anticipation. Again,
Yeah,
Wetherington has made some really good defensive plays here tonight.
There's boxes down to the post. Blagievich set to make his move. Trying to get some space, ducks the shoulder, elevates, and scores. George Blagievich working hard inside. And the Hawks lead 52-46. Blago now with 11.
Well, here's what happens when you're shooting the ball as well as Hartford has this half. It forces the opposing defense to not be able to help on the post, allows somebody like Blago or John Carroll to operate one-on-one.
And suddenly Marist has gone ice cold. The Hawks 9 of 13 from the field.
Yeah, it's been 8 minutes both of runs. Marist coming out with that big run, making those 4 threes right away. Hartford countering in a big way.
Hawks now will try to catch their breath on offense here. That's J.R. Lynch. Plays most of the game.
Yeah, they got stagnant now. Only 9 on the shot clock here. Great cut.
Inside it goes to Dunn, who puts it up. Can't get the shot to go. Marist pulls down the rebound. Oh, boy. It was on the rim and then just fell off.
Yep. Again, Hartford just missed some bunnies here tonight. Really make a difference. They could have those 3 or so layups back.
There's Dosic. Out of Lamb. Bounces it off to Hines. Hines driving all the way to the rim. Puts it up. Can't get the shot to go. Offensive rebound. Dosic puts it up and in.
Well, Dunn's got to dig that play out there. He was in the mismatch with Dosic, was content to get pushed under the rim. You got to get low, use the low center of gravity you have, and try and drive him back in a situation like that.
8 for Dosic to stop the bleeding. The Hawks 52, the Red Foxes 48. And Blagievich drives in, puts it up, can't get the shot to go, but he is fouled.
Well, that's the exact same play they ran for Carroll at the end of the first half that Marist guarded so well. That time they did it for Blago, trying to empty out that driving lane, let him go through. Blago does a nice job of initiating contact and getting himself to the free throw line.
So free throws coming for
surprise. They were not expected to win 5 out of 6 games. Again, it's a credit to John Dunn and his staff. Ryder at 5 and 6, really a team that people are expecting to make some noise once conference play comes around.
Red Foxes looking to finish the non-conference schedule with 6 victories and a 500 record. The first time since the 2012 season, as you see George Blagievich missed the first free throw. Adam, talk a little bit about the passing.
Yeah, I think, there's a lot of things that Hartford has done well here in the second half, but I think they're really passing the ball well, and sometimes that's easy to get overlooked, but not only are they sharing it, but they're taking care of it. So after having 3 assists and 7 turnovers in the first half, only have 1 turnover to 4 assists here, and I think some of the shot making has been a direct result of balls hitting shooters in their shot pocket so that they're able to step into the ball and shoot it in rhythm. So not really something that's really something that's hard to correct at halftime. Hey, we got to take better care of the ball. It's a lot more about the focus of your players. So give these guys credit. Jason Dunn in particular, not only is he making shots, but he's delivering balls in just the right place.
Dosic spilled on the play. No foul call. It'll be a turnover as the Hawks get it back, but they're going to stop play as Dosic was down and laying just inside that three-point arc. I'll call for the training staff to come take a look at the 6'9" junior and the Marshall transfer, who's been in double figures twice this season now. And well, both of those guys have made some threes early on in this second half.
Well, the first half couldn't have been any different from the second half. I mean, Dunn and Weatherington don't score. Dosic doesn't score. And those guys have dominated the second half for their respective teams with their shot making here through the first 10 minutes.
A nice hand as Dosic heads to the sideline.
And, Duels, in this day and age of rightfully so, but the precautions people take whenever you go into concussion protocol, you'd have to I mean, he's going to go through a thorough examination right now, and if there's any indication whatsoever of any type of concussion-like symptoms, we won't see him again.
Luke Nedra will check in for him. Here's Boxes on the left wing 3. It's going to rim out. Nothing but Red Foxes underneath for the rebound. Here comes Hines off to Parker. Yeah, that would be a big loss, too. He's a terrific player off the bench.
Great pass.
Left side. Hines tries the 3. Can't get the shot to go. Boxes corrals the rebound. He tipped it up and actually tipped it to himself and then grabbed it with both hands.
Again, Boxes, I just love the way that he comes in and impacts the game. He doesn't need to, he's not hunting statistics, but he makes positive contributions with all those so-called little plays on both ends of the floor.
Hawks looking to build. Got a 5-point lead. Here's Lynch. Gets it into Carroll. On that left baseline.
When he doesn't settle, he's tough, but he settled.
And he did. Try to put it up. Some contact, no foul call. Marist with a clean swat, and Parker takes over. Here's Knudsen.
Good transition defense there by Hartford.
And Boxes met him on the catch. Now he's trying to get free. Throws into traffic, and here's steal. Weatherington picks it off to J.R. Lynch, and Hartford coming up with another big stop.
Oh, Weatherington continuing to make plays on the defensive end of the floor. Really like what J.R. Lynch did that time as well. Went down, but you call that probing the defense. You hold your dribble, see if you've got any numbers, and you don't pick the ball up. If you don't like what you see, you hold your dribble. Something that became popular after Steve Nash. He was really the expert at that. But it allows you to flow into your offense.
Keep your options open, right?
Exactly, and you're less susceptible to being trapped when you keep your dribble.
Here's Dunn. Gets it into Carroll. Flips it over to Lynch. Lynch with 20 to shoot. Left side, Weatherington. Thought about a three. Then tries to pass it as the pass stolen away by Hines. Hines to the basketball. Off to Parker. Cross-court pass, Lamb. Lamb driving against Boxes, and a foul call, and I think it's going to be on Romain Boxes.
Now, let me go back to that last offensive possession for Hartford, because we had talked about their passing leading to rhythm looks. Now, that was a tough pass for J.R. Lynch. He found Weatherington in the opposite corner, so it's hard to put that one off on the money. Right. But when Weatherington catches it above his shoulder, it takes him out of any shooting rhythm. You've got to come up out of your stance. You've got to lift your midsection. You don't have any power in your legs anymore. You have to reset your body. So you basically have no choice but to move the ball or put it on the floor. If that passes on the money, it's a rhythm three. If not, now you've got a shooter forced to put the ball on the floor. So the importance of passing really playing out here for Hartford.
Max Twyman comes in. Weathering takes a seat on the sideline. First made free throw. Dropping through, Isaiah Lamb will get a second one, a chance to make this a one-possession game. The Baltimore native does. 53-50 Hartford, 8:30 to go. Another tight one here for the Hawks in their final non-conference home tune-up before league play begins next month. There's Dunn. Off to Carroll, now to Lynch.
Good slip by Carroll.
Carroll pulls up from the left elbow. Can't get the shot to go. Carroll had a hand on the rebound, but it's actually taken in by Isaiah Lamb.
Carroll, you can see he's not running like he normally does. Just little tender on that ankle still.
Lynch tried to take the charge that time. Instead they call a block against Hartford's guard. Lynch picking up the foul. That is his first. Good try, though.
Well, you know what? With the rules being what they are now, if you hit the deck and unless you're set, and I still think that officials, generally speaking, not necessarily today's officials, overuse the charge call when there should be more blocks than charges. But unless you're certain, if you fall, it's going to go against you. So you got to be very careful about when you hit the deck.
There's Funk, tries the three and gets it a go, and he ties the game at 53 aside as we go inside 8 minutes to play.
Tough shot there. Jason Dunn was all over him, just draped on that shooting arm, but ability to make shots off your back foot paid off for Funk that time.
Now here's Lynch driving in deep. Nearly stolen away. Now it is stolen.
Terrific defensive play by Parker there, showing on Dunn coming off that screen the same way we talked about how Hartford needed to show on Knutson on the other end.
There's Austin Williams, the sophomore from West Orange, New Jersey with the basketball. Played there. A New Jersey native himself, J.R. Lynch. Now Williams driving in, throws it up, and an offensive charge call. That time it's Max Twyman that takes the brunt of the hit and gets the basketball back for the home team.
Twyman sliding in, making contributions, taking that charge.
Timeout on the floor. We will step aside as well. 7:17 to go. Hartford 53. Marist 53.
4 threes in the first few minutes, which was better than they did the entire first. Hartford countering. Jason Dunn really taking over, playing at a high level, not just with his own shot making, but with his playmaking and ability to find others.
There is Dunn. There's the Blagievich. Australian them trying to back his way in. Nearly lost the dribble. Now puts it up. Can't get the shot to go. Marist pulls down the rebound. That's Funk. Ryan Funk doing the duties.
Well, he was working for that angle the entire time. He was trying to turn back to that left shoulder, but instead of drop stepping and getting a foot on, he just faded away. But Hartford again picking off that entry pass.
Yep, and Blago gets the steal, and off it goes to Lynch, who cashes in. JR was 17, and the Hawks go up by 2.
You know, that entry pass, Marist playing through their elbows so much here. Hartford's been really aggressive getting hands on those balls. Interesting opportunity for Marist. One, they've got to do a better job of posting harder on the elbows to guarantee that catch. But, too, if they have any type of backdoor set in their playbook to open that up, this would be a good time to use it.
Funk misses the long three. Blagiewicz the rebound. A quick pass to Carroll, and off it goes to point guard J.R. Lynch. There's Max Twyman. Off to Dunn. Now Lynch right in front of the Hawks bench. There's Dunn at the high post. Dunn set to back his way in. Here comes the double team. Passes right side for Twyman. Open three. He got it. Nothing but nylon from Max Twyman. And the Hawks lead goes back to 5 with 5:50 to go. And Adam, that's why he's in the game. Max Twyman can hit that long-range jumper.
Max Twyman making some nice contributions. First taking the charge, then knocking down the three. But I tell you what, Duels, I'm going to go back to the pass. Cross-court skip. Carroll out fouling. Hartford in particular. The zone makes that a little easier because sometimes it serves as a deterrent for dribble penetration. Not that it should, but it tends to have that impact on cue as Parker gets 2 feet in the paint. But
yeah, Isaiah Lamb drops it off for a Hines. Can't get the shot to fall. Hartford pulls down the rebound. Wow. Marist coming close to the layup. They just couldn't have the bounce go their way.
Well, we talked about how John Gallagher drew up a good one that Blago couldn't finish that time. It was John Dunn who drew up a good one. Isaiah Lamb couldn't finish.
Now, this is a big offensive sequence for the Hawks, who try and make this a 3-possession game. There's Dunn. 7 on the shot clock. Dunn spots up from long range and hits. Jason Dunn nails the three. His third three this half, and the Hawks lead by 9 with 3 minutes to go.
I'm telling you, he prefers tough ones. No hand in his face. It's almost too easy.
And here's steal. Twyman comes up with it. The Hawks come up with another big stop.
Well, how about Max Twyman? Still on the floor. Not a guy who plays a ton of minutes, but he's made really nice contributions here today. Took that charge, made a three. Second one was halfway down, and John Gallagher showing faith by leaving him in crunch time.
A 9-point advantage for the Hawks as their largest this afternoon. There's Dunn, who just hit the three. Puts the ball on the deck.
Same
Hand
play.
off to Blago. Blago spinning towards the lane, puts it up. Can't get the shot to go, but he is fouled. And he has been sensational from the line. 7 of 10 here today.
Same play, exact same play, and Marist bit on it again. Dunn running at that handoff for Blago. He gets his man leaning just enough, but based on the threat of Dunn coming off the handoff, able to turn the corner.
George Blagiewicz going to the free throw line. Mentioned 7 of 10. And his first is good. He has 14 points for the Hawks.
He'd have 20 if he were making layups tonight.
You're not kidding. He did miss some bunnies. Carroll with 11, Dunn has 12, and Lynch pacing Hartford's offensive attack with 17 points today.
But you know what? Blago's got 9 rebounds, too. So, we've been critical of his finishing tonight, and rightfully so. But to his credit, he's impacted the game in other ways. He's gotten to the free throw line. He's been all over the glass. And his ability to facilitate is so important to Hartford running their offense.
Hawks by 10 now. Hartford's largest lead. Just about 2 minutes to play. There's Dosic, drives in. He can't get the shot to go. Goes out of bounds. I'm going to say it was last touched by Blagiewicz. It'll stay Marist basketball.
Well, a good defensive sequence there by John Carroll. The hard closeout. And then even though laterally he's not 100% yet because of that ankle, was able to stay down, slide his feet, and contest that play at the rim enough to take away what would have been an easy 2.
Marist 5 minutes without a field goal. Inbounds, it goes to Williams, and down by 10. They've got to start to hurry. Williams can't get the angle. Offensive rebound put up by Lamb. He can't get the shot to go, and Hartford clears. Hawk with a terrific job in the interior.
Good decision. Now's the time you want to.
I can run some clock here.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they'll do. They'll give it to one of the best free throw shooters in America, and that is J.R. Lynch, who had his streak come to an end last time out. 29 straight. He ranks 6th nationally in free throws, but a turnover. Marist comes up with it. Funk ahead to Knudsen, who puts it up. He can't get the shot to go. Funk grabs the rebound, nearly travels loose, and Blagiewicz comes up with it with 94 seconds to play.
This is, for John Dunn and his staff, this is like a coaching bad dream. When it's a 10-point game and you've seen your team miss 3 layups in the last 2 minutes, because there's nothing you can do. You can't make the layups for them.
There's Carroll. They're getting the looks, just not finishing. Off it goes to Dunn. Now to Carroll, who tries a 3, way short. Rebound up, a grab by Twyman, a fresh 30 for the Hawks. Now they can really run this thing down.
Yep, that's a huge offensive rebound right there.
And doesn't look like Marist is going to foul.
No, it doesn't.
Well, just as I say it, they do foul. I mean, if you're going to foul, you got to do it quickly. And they're going to try to maybe stretch this thing out, but if you're a Red Fox guy, you hate to put J.R. Lynch in the line, who is just about as automatic as there is a player in the America East.
You know what I'm impressed with right now is Travis Weatherington. We talked about how John Gallagher showing faith in Max Twyman right now, but because he is Travis Weatherington, it's the guy who's on the bench. Normally the guy who would be on the court in crunch time would be easy for him. Most guys certainly would be pouting a little bit. He's sitting in the front of the bench, clapping his hands over there, giving guys five. So give him credit for being a really good teammate right now.
Yeah, that was just 16 fouls, so no free throws yet. Here's Lynch, 6 to go in the shot clock, gives it out to Twyman. Twyman 3 to go in the shot clock. Lynch with a three-pointer, hits the front of the rim, no good. Lynch grabs the rebound outside the three-point arc. And that should just about do it for the Hawks.
Yeah, second offensive rebound in the last possession, and that is just back-breaking for Marist. That is going to do it here.
Gives it off to Dunn, and Hartford with a nice effort here this afternoon and terrific shooting in the second half as the Hawks will win their 6th game of the season. Done with 5 in the shot clock, gives it to Twyman, driving baseline, puts it up and in. Max Twyman with a well-deserved hoop. He was so good defensively, hit a huge 3 moments ago, and now the field goal to make it 65-53. Hines will pull up just about at the buzzer, fire the 3, get it to go, and Lago will dribble things out, and the Hartford Hawks will defeat the Marist Red Foxes 65-56 here this afternoon. A terrific effort, I thought, by both teams.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, great minutes down the stretch for Max Twyman. It just goes to show you've got to be ready when your number's called. His number was called. He made plays on both ends of the floor. And that's could have been easy for Hartford to give this one away when Marist came out shooting as well as they did out of the second half, but very resilient effort from the Hawks.
With a win, Hartford wins 4 straight at home. The Hawks improved to 6-8 on the year. Marist falls to 5-7. They'll begin Metro Athletic play on January 3rd. The Hawks, Boston College in 2 days, and then they will kick off their conference schedule come January, their first of the season, and they will take on, of course, UMBC right here at Rich Pavilion on Wednesday, January 9th. So for Adam Finkelstein, Jeff Dooley saying so long from Chase Family Pavilion. The final score, Hartford 65, Marist 56. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as the other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com. This has been a presentation of ESPN.